You're checking your bank app after a normal day. Nothing dramatic, nothing unexpected. And then you notice it. You paid full price for parking downtown. If you'd used the app instead of the meter, you would have saved $1.90. Instant regret. For the rest of the evening, on the drive home, while reheating leftovers, brushing your teeth, that $1.90 keeps popping back into your head. You feel irritated, like you slipped up, like you should have known better. Meanwhile, your phone buzzes with a reminder about your $680 car payment due next week. The same car sitting outside your place that already eats half your disposable income. The same apartment that's stretching your budget so if the same one medical bill would send you into full stress mode. But somehow, the thing bothering you is less than $2. That's cheap thinking in its purest form. And it's quietly draining you dry. This isn't another stop buying nice things rant. I'm not here to shame you for spending money. This is about the mental pattern that keeps people broke while they're convinced they're being responsible. Because here's the truth nobody really explains. Cheapness is emotional. Wealth is calculated. Cheap behavior comes from fear. Wealth building comes from evaluating value. If you don't switch that mindset, you'll stay stuck, no matter how disciplined you think you are. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. You're running errands and notice 2 car washes. One is right next to you, charging $12. The other is across town advertising $9. You think, that's $3 saved. So you drive the extra 20 minutes. Feel smart, efficient, responsible. Let's break it down. That round trip costs you fuel. Your car burns gas sitting in traffic. You spend almost half an hour just to get there. Between fuel and time, that $3 savings actually costs you more than you saved. And that's before we talk about your time. Let's say you earn $25 an hour. That 30 minutes just cost you $12.50 in lost time. So your $3 win quietly turned into a double-digit loss. And you felt productive the whole time. That's the trap. Cheap thinking focuses on price, strategic thinking focuses on outcome. Cheap people ask, how much am I spending right now? Strategic people ask, what does this get me? Money stops being something to protect and starts being something to deploy. Think about professional events. A cheap mindset sees a $50 entry fee and thinks, nope, waste of money. A strategic mindset sees the same event and thinks, if one conversation here leads to a better role, a client, or advice that saves me years, that $50 is nothing. The value isn't the snacks, it's the leverage. And here's what unlocks that way of thinking: financial breathing room. When you have real savings, even a few months of expenses, your brain stops panicking. You stop treating every purchase like a threat to survival. Fear creates cheap decisions. Security creates smart ones. Now, let's talk about the most overused advice in personal finance. Coffee. Apparently, lattes are the reason nobody's rich. Yes, making coffee at home saves money. $5 a day is about $1,800 a year. Helpful? Sure. Life-changing? Not even close. Meanwhile, the same person skipping coffee is driving a car they can't afford, paying premium insurance, and watching it lose value every month. They'll stand in a store comparing paper towels for 5 minutes, then sign a lease that's $400 too expensive without blinking. That's cheap thinking, obsessing over pennies while ignoring dollars. And there's another hidden cost most people miss: mental exhaustion. Every tiny decision you overanalyze drains your brain. Your mind has limited energy each day. When you spend it debating trash bags or driving across town to save change, you don't have anything left for the decisions that actually matter. Negotiating your salary, starting a side hustle, learning a skill that could double your income. Your brain is fried from saving 60 cents. Here's a rule that changes everything. If something costs under $20 and you have savings, buy what you want and move on. Save your mental energy for the decisions that actually move the needle. Cars. Housing, care choices, skill building. That's where wealth is built or destroyed. But there's a deeper reason cheap thinking feels smart. It's called scarcity mindset. Scarcity is the belief that there will never be enough, not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough time. When you live in scarcity, every dollar spent feels permanent, like it's gone forever. You're not buying shoes, you're losing money. You're not investing in a course, you're risking safety. A lot of people learned this mindset early, watching parents struggle, graduating into a bad economy, living paycheck to paycheck for years. That mindset kept you safe once. Now it's holding you back. You won't spend $1,000 on a certification that could raise your income by $15,000, because what if something goes wrong? Meanwhile, someone else sees that same $1,000 as seed money. They're not reckless, they're strategic. Language reveals everything. Cheap thinking says, I can't afford that. Strategic thinking says, I'm choosing not to prioritize that right now. Same decision. Completely different power dynamic. And the most expensive form of cheapness? Refusing to invest in yourself. Skipping the course, avoiding the dentist, ignoring the warning signs. Saving $150 today, paying $4,000 later. Cheap decisions don't disappear. They compound. Wealthy thinking asks a different question. What's the cost of not doing this? What's the cost of staying stuck? Of poor health? Of bad tools? Of wasted time? Suddenly, spending money to prevent problems looks like the deal of a lifetime. Wealth isn't built by shrinking your life. You can only cut so much before there's nothing left. Income has no ceiling. Expenses do. You won't skip your way to freedom. You'll invest your way there. So here's your assignment. Look at the last 3 months of spending, not to shame yourself, but to spot patterns. Where are you being cheap in ways that cost you more later? Where are you ignoring the big leaks while obsessing over the small ones? Make one change. Stop agonizing over small purchases if you have savings. Redirect that energy toward earning more. Because the real difference between cheap and wealthy isn't discipline, it's direction. One mindset plays defense with pennies. The other plays offense with strategy.